Hello speakers, today in this 20 minutes video, we are going to talk about how CEOs and top leaders are able to impact their team members every time they are speaking, any meeting, any presentation, any boardroom conversation, they are just killing it. Not only this, they are also closing million-dollar deals with their clients 3 times faster without wasting their time and money in the generic public speaking courses. Now, before we go ahead, let us see whether this whole program is meant for you or not. So who is this for? Number 1, if you are a corporate professional and if you want to take your speaking to the next level, if you are someone who feel that I'm hesitant, I'm shy, I'm nervous, I forget my words, right words don't come to me in the right time, and this inner narrative leads you to fail all the time whenever you speak. And what happens? The result is that people do not listen to you, people do not notice you, people do not pay attention to you, people do not respect you, and that leads to a broken self-image. If that sounds something like you, this is absolutely for you. Number 2, if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner who wants to speak with authority, who wants to just command the room, who want to close deal effortlessly, this is for you. And number 3, if you are an aspiring public speaker and a coach who wants to stand out of the crowd, who wants to build their authority in the market, who wants to make your presence felt to the audience, who want to impact masses, this is definitely for you. Also, if you are an introvert or a hesitant speaker, this is definitely for you, because I am an introvert. I was an introvert, I am an introvert, and I will be an introvert. You know why? Because being an introvert is a personality, is a nature that has nothing to do with whether you will become a good speaker or you are a good speaker or not. Being a speaker is just a skill. Let me tell you, let me break this myth today that people think that, okay, I'm an introvert, I don't feel like talking to people more, I feel I avoid social gatherings, I always feel like spending time with myself. That's absolutely okay. Public speaking is a skill which can be learned over the years. Now, I don't tell you that, okay, I have spent around 10 to 12 years doing it over and over again and I learned this skill today. So you don't have to spend years of practice in order to gain expertise in this skill. What you have to do is you just have to learn the right strategy and apply it, practice it. That's it. Yes, if you are an introvert, then this is definitely for you. Last but not the least, if you are anyone who wants to own the room, if you want your voice to be powerful, if you want to find your voice, if you want to develop that particular confidence to speak, this is for you. Now, let us discuss as to why should you even listen to me? Because I have been there. Where you are standing today, I had been there today at some point of my life. My journey started when I was 27 and I stepped into Bangalore for the first time in life. A world very different from a small town life. Yes, I used to be a small town girl, and till the time I stepped into Bangalore, things were very different. It was a different story before this public speaking trainer. I was born in a small town called Orissa, wherein, it was a very, very small town. See, English was never an issue for me because I was in the convent school for 15 long years, but confidence was a big issue because I was labeled as a shy kid. My parents, my dad's friends, my teachers' friends, my friends, everybody labeled me one thing, that is shy. See, is a shy kid. They used to say that she is a shy kid. She never speaks. She's a dumb fellow. She's not smart at all. ये तो कुछ बोलती ही नहीं है. So listening the same thing over and over again for more than 25 years, I kind of started believing it. And you know what? This is the magic of the subconscious mind. Whatever you believe deeply, that gets into your subconscious mind and you start behaving. Not only behaving, you start attracting those kind of opportunities and people who put you even more down, right? Who make you feel demotivated, who make you feel that actually you're not good enough, actually you're not a good speaker. You will definitely be able to relate to this. Yes, the consequences was really worse than I had worse than I had never even imagined. Yes, I was neither able to speak in the school or in the college. I always used to be a backbencher. Even if I knew the answer, I was very hesitant to raise my hand. And same thing happened in the corporate life, and you know how it feels and how people deal with. There is a corporate politics always, and I was the biggest victim of that. Yes, that cost me a lot because I was stuck in my career for 3-4 years in just one position, not getting promotion, no salary hikes. Because I was hesitant, I was shy, I self-doubted myself a lot. But yes, there was a moment which came, and yes, the turning point. Every hero story has a turning point, and I had it too. And I'm lucky enough that I had that turning point in my life. Yes, I got married. I went to Bangalore. From a small town to a big city, a huge shift. I started rediscovering myself. I started working on myself. And thanks to my husband, who allowed me to work on myself, who gave me that amount of freedom to, do whatever I wanted to do. Every weekend I used to go to seminars, I used to go to workshops, whatever topic, whether be it entrepreneurship, be it public speaking, be it leadership skills, anything related to self-development. I just used to drop into the seminar and then attend every seminar, and that's how I kept on doing this for over and over for 6 months. The real transformation happened in one particular moment. My first standing ovation by Professor Simon. Yes, I got a chance to do my PGDI course, PG Diploma in International Education at Indus International School. This school had a collaboration with Birmingham City University, UK, from where a professor called Professor Simon used to come every month for 1 day or 2 to train the teacher trainees. Okay, now the course was over, the 11th month, and we had to submit the report. Out of 200 teacher trainees, only 10 teacher trainees were selected to present in front of Professor Simon. I was one among them as usual because I was very good at academics, very good at my studies and research work and everything. But I was very hesitant to go there and speak. So I just told the course coordinator that, ma'am, is it okay if somebody else presents my, presentation? So, but then she was like very strict. She told, are you crazy? Just go and present. So anyhow, I just gathered that guts and courage, and I just went there and spoke for 20 minutes, right? I still remember that version of Priyankini standing there with a cotton sari, navy blue color cotton sari with long hair, but yet completely oiled hair tied to a bun, looking very chipku, right? Something happened. Suddenly, Professor Simon stands up and claps in front of a 3,000 size audience. That moment was like a, it was a, how to describe? It was a complete silence, and just I heard the clap. That moment changed my whole life, my whole perception about myself. The beliefs which I was holding for 27 years, that I'm not good enough, I'm shy, I'm an introvert, everything melted because I was the confident person in the room. I started feeling so confident, as if I can be such a good speaker that a native speaker can give me a standing ovation, it means a lot to me, and I can train anybody how to speak. Right? So that moment changed my life, and that is when a public speaking trainer was born. I started my career from that school itself. For a few years, 2 years, I stayed there. I trained the children, like 9, 10, 11, 12 on public speaking there. Then to the final year engineering students and the MBA students, then the working professionals, and today executives. So there was no looking back. So in these last 10 years, I have invested more than 20 lakhs in more than 10 mentors. I worked with Afin Khan, Siddharth Rajsekhar, Rajiv Talreja, Avi Arya, Purushottam Hambade, Jack Canfield, Jamie Jackson, Sakshi Chandrakar, Divas Gupta. The list is never ending. In the last decade, I have trained more than 10,000 people on their speaking skills. I have trained them how to speak confidently in front of any audience, Doesn't matter whether they are your subordinates, they are your colleagues, they are your boss, they are CEOs. I have trained them to speak in front of anybody, any audience confidently. Today, I am an entrepreneur. I have launched my business. I have launched my own platform called Speak Out Club 3 years back. Today renamed as Speakers Legacy Club. Yeah. Yes, I'm really proud of myself for that. This is a glimpse of Value Limited, wherein I got a chance to train the executives, top level executives like sales managers, marketing heads, on the power of storytelling in doing a sales pitch. So I was glad enough, I was lucky enough to train these people from Value Japan as well. Yes, so this journey was never ending, and I launched Speakers Legacy Club. I was featured on Women Entrepreneur magazine. I authored a book called Speak Out, which is available on Amazon. And things just started falling on my way, and I just grabbed every opportunity which I got to evolve to the next level. So that was my story. And now let's look at the client stories, how they came to me, how they dropped into my training system, and how they got transformed to brilliant speaker. Meet Sushil Deshmukh. So he is a senior manager at Honda for about 15 years. When he came to me, he was a very shy fellow. I mean, he had no problem in speaking. He was a very good speaker, but thing is, he was very much hesitant. Something was pulling him back. He felt very hesitant, more of an imposter syndrome, because people had said something blah 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 in past. So you hold that belief in your belief system, and accordingly you feel that you're unworthy of training people, you're unworthy of talking to your clients, you feel unworthy while you are talking to your team members. So that was his situation when he came to me. But today, when we work on his limiting beliefs, and we also worked on his presentation skills, today he is a completely different person with an unshakable confidence. He comes to me a lot of times and shares his victories, saying that, ma'am, you know what, I took up a training opportunity today to train a crowd which is completely stranger for me. He also comes up and tells me that, ma'am, you know what, I got to host an event in my office. There was an entertainment event which was happening, and I was chosen as the host, and I did a good job. I feel so proud of myself, ma'am. I was wonderful. So he's a different person today, and very energetic, very confident. Let's look at Praveen. Praveen is the MD and CEO of a laser machine business. Now, when he came to me, he came with a belief that, okay, ma'am, my English is not good. I cannot speak English so well. Now, when we started working on his limiting beliefs, we found out that the real problem was not speaking in English, or maybe my English is not good. Of course, he was not a pro in English, but yes, his limiting belief was that because I am educated from a local Gujarati medium government school, so I believe deeply that I can never speak in English. We broke that limiting belief. I worked on his language skills, his presentation skills, his storytelling skills, and today he is very powerfully able to expand into the South Indian market as well. And he was already very good, actually having around 50 crores turnover of his business, but today he's confidently able to expand his business, talk to the clients so comfortably, effortlessly, and he's able to close deals 3 times faster than he used to do earlier. Wonderful, isn't it? Let's look at another success story. Yes, Sunita Agarwal, my most favorite. So this lady is a very powerful lady already, managing 3 businesses. She has an oil factory, she's into mutual funds, she's into trading. Now, when she came to me, she was into a self-sabotage zone, feeling that I'm worthless, I'm useless, I'm good for nothing, I cannot speak, right? So, now, the reason behind this, all the ladies out here will be able to relate, that when a lady is super ambitious, you know how much support you get from your in-laws, from your husband. Same thing happened with her. She was traumatized. She was, put down every time from her in-laws. Her sister-in-law and mother-in-law did everything to put her down, to make her feel that you're worthless, you're good for nothing, you cannot do anything. The worst part was that her husband also never supported her. But we worked on her, and we worked on her self-image, and we worked on her identity. We shifted her identity because she was already a powerful speaker. Only thing is, there were a lot of blocks within her. Little bit of impromptu, little bit of presentation work. And then today she feels so confident. She was sharing with me last time she went to Georgia just for a family or a friend trip, and she told me that, ma'am, you know what, we were 40 people and there was an introduction round going on, and I never ever introduced myself so confidently for 20 minutes before this. I really felt good. So basically, you know what, I don't take the credit, because thing is, when you work on yourself, the inner work, things open up outside when you start focusing externally as well. Today, her husband not only respects her, but then see, she had been the right hand of her business, of her husband's business for around 20 long years without being paid. But today, she not only demands her respect, she not only demands her rights, but also people respect her a lot. Now, talking about Karthikeyan, he is an AGM at NTPC Limited. Now, this guy, when he came to me, he was, getting promoted. He was in a transition zone wherein he was getting promoted from a mid-level, maybe some senior manager, to an AGM. Now, the shift, he was not able to accept the fact that, he has moved to a big leadership position, a level wherein people need to respect him. So he felt somewhere that people do not respect him. He's not visible at all. Even if he speaks something, people do not listen to him. So the authority figure in him was missing. Now, when we worked on his self-image, when we worked on his identity shift from a nervous, underconfident, mid-level employee to a leader, that made the whole difference. He started feeling so confident. Today he says that, ma'am, you know what, my team members, they wait for me to speak. They wait for me to go to the conference room and speak. So yeah, a lot of difference. He has a high energy, high confidence today. So there are hundreds of success stories like these. I am on a mission to transform at least 1 million people in the next 5 years. Now, as I worked with these working professionals for a long time, one common pattern I realized and I saw is that these people, they're not aware of the 80-20 rule in public speaking. Now, let's see, what is that 80-20 rule? You all might be aware of this 80-20 Pareto's principle, right? That you get 80% of the results from 20% of the work. Right? In public speaking, the knowledge, the expertise, the experience, the degrees, the certificates, it's only 20%. What is the major 80% is your presence, the way you communicate with people, the way you put across your message to people, the confidence you show, the way you carry yourself, your presence, your voice, your authority. So these all things are 80%. But the sad part is, even now, people are not aware and they don't understand that knowledge, degrees, competency, experience is only 20%. Now let's look at the 3 common mistakes which these people do all the time. Number 1 is that you feel unworthy of yourself. Even if you are in that particular position of a CEO or a director or a manager, you are a leader. You forget that. You are not ready to accept this, that okay, only because I deserve this position, and that's the reason universe has given me this position, right? So that imposter syndrome, that lack of self-belief. Number 2, and the biggest mistake, is that people focus only on what to say. They just focus on the message. They focus on the strategies. They focus on the tools. They focus on maybe the presentations, the data, but they just forget about how to say it, how to confidently express it and how to interestingly express it using maybe some stories, using some questions, using some engagement tools, right? Number 3, and the final mistake they do is giving extra emphasis to knowledge. Now, knowledge kills your success. You might be thinking that, okay, knowledge is power. How come you can say that knowledge kills your success? Now, I'll tell you how. What happens is people focus a lot onto the knowledge. Now, unless that knowledge is implemented, if you have some knowledge as a VP or a CEO, you're not able to express it or make your team members understand about that knowledge. So it's fake, right? So using knowledge in the right way through the skill of public speaking is what you need to master. So this is my hero story from a mom who was a typical mom, middle class mom, who was into corporates, who was like very happy with her kids, to a person who is owning a business, transformed more than 10,000 people. So what I want to say is, if I was shy, I was an introvert, I am an introvert, when I can become a brilliant speaker, you can become the best speaker too. It's all within you, guys. I tell you over and over again, it's all within you. You just have to unleash that. Maybe you have locked that natural speaker somewhere, and I have the key to unlock that. So the good news is that it is possible to work on your speaking skills, because your voice has the power and the world is ready to listen to you. And because the world doesn't need robotic speakers now who just read the slides and presentation and just vomit it in front of the audience or the team members. The world needs impactful speakers like you who can make a difference, who can speak from the heart, who can tell stories about themselves, right? So that's the reason I have come up a very simple program which is called Speak2lead. Is an executive training program which helps you to lead with unshakable confidence. It also helps you to amplify your voice so that you can leave an impact. It transforms the way you communicate. It takes your communication to the next level. Now, see, I could have given you a lot of strategies like other mentors. I could have given you a lot of tools and frameworks, but unless you implement it, it's a waste. Now, my system, Speak2lead, is a proven system which has worked over and over again. You know why? Because I call it a PP model. Practice and perform. Practice and perform. What I make you do is, whatever strategy I teach you or I train you on, I make you perform that. Not only you perform or you present in front of me, but we have groups wherein it's a public speaking setup. You get to talk in front of 5 to 6 members. So we have small groups, right? So you get a platform to practice like anything. Before going to the battlefield, which is your conference room or which is your stage, you get to practice a lot in my field, my platform. Right? So let's talk more about Speak2lead. As I said, it's a simple 4-step system: the confidence code, the identity shift formula, the power speak system, and the influence accelerator. Now let's see what these modules are. The first pillar is called the confidence code. I call it confidence code because it helps you develop that unshakable confidence within you. Because it helps you to break all those blocks which stop you to become a brilliant speaker. Here, I make you write down all those blocks, and there are different proven tools. There are 6 tools which I use in this pillar, wherein you get to bring those limiting beliefs into the surface level. And then I train you on how to make peace with it and how to let them go. Right? You completely rewire your belief system to a different level of speaker mindset. Right? Now, every module has some power leaps. Power leaps are the steps, like step 1, step 2, step 3. How, the basic thing you learn, and then you keep stepping up and up and up. Now, confidence code has power leap 1 and power leap 2. In power leap 1, we identify the hidden confidence killers, and then I teach you some tools how to work on it. In Power Leap 2, you discover your speaker persona. You discover your inner personality and which areas of your personality, which features help you to become a good speaker, right? So we scan your personality using, again, different tools like personality test and all. And then the confidence blueprint. There is a blueprint after every module, every pillar. Now, this blueprint is not just a sheet. It's basically a workbook wherein you write down all the strategies which suits you. Suppose I teach you 6 strategies. You write down your strategy which you are going to use it. You note down the strategies and the action steps after every module. Next is the identity shift formula. So what happens here is we shift your identity from your current identity of that nervous, underconfident, imposter syndrome, whatever issues you come with, and the desired identity, what you want to become, that leader who has a presence, right? There are again different tools which I make you practice. Yes, Power Leap 1, here you get to shift your identity from a nervous speaker to a powerful speaker. Alter ego method is a method which I use. Here in Power Leap 2, we work a lot on your non-verbals, your body language. Now, see, your body is your subconscious mind. How you think, okay, whatever you think, that will be definitely reflected on your body. Now, for example, I feel that I'm nervous, I am shy, I can never speak so well, I'm not a good speaker. So how will be I'll be stiff on the stage and speak like this, right? So your body will express that. Even if you don't want to express, your body will express that, right? So in public speaking, I have mentioned this before as well, it is 93%, more than 90% is your tone and your body language. What you want to speak, the words carry only 7% importance, guys. Try to understand that. So here in this Power Leap 2, we work on your body language, right? In the sense like the stage presence, how to use your hands, what is power pose, how to make the eye contact, right? So there are different models which I train you on. Power Leap 3 is the voice. Now, when I say voice modulation, it's not a small topic. It's a huge topic, which is like many elements like your pace, your pitch, strategic pause, inflection. So I will teach you important things, how to, like, you might have seen I take a lot of pause and to create that impact, how I stress the words to bring that impact and express that particular emotions. I'll teach you all that, how to tell a story, how to do that voice modulation instead of sounding monotone, how to, bring a variety in your voice. So all these things will be covered in the Power Leap 3. Moving on to the next pillar and the most important one, that is the Power Speak system. Yes, so the Power Speak system, as I tell it, the most important one because it's the actual powerhouse of the whole program. Yes, here you get to learn the art and science of public speaking. Now, after the non-verbals, when you come to the verbals, so it's just not the traditional way of giving a speech, the old monotonous speech which there's no proper beginning and just you read the slides and there's one particular flow. I will be training you on various techniques, how to start a speech, how to develop that body. So you will be a pro in writing a speech, building a body using prep models, rule of 3, right? But the first step is the audience. It's important who is your audience, what are their interests, what are the expectations from you. Now, as a speaker, what emotions you want them to feel, what is your outcome. Now, how you want to make them feel. So the number one, the first Power Leap is audience profiling, where you understand how to scan your audience, how to know more about your audience. Power Leap 2 is how to start a speech, how to build a body, how to leave with an impactful conclusion. Yes, Power Leap 3 is about memory techniques. It's not, you just don't have to memorize the whole speech and go to the stage and vomit. I will train you on some advanced memory techniques wherein you are able to use visualization and some story chains and anchoring which helps you to deliver your speech effortlessly. Yes, last but not the least, the influence accelerator. Here, it's the crux of the program, I would say, because here you learn the art of storytelling. In the first Power Leap, we learn the basic structure of a storytelling. Now, for example, I remember when I went to the stage for the first time, I shared my story like this. I belonged to a small town, and then I was in grade 12, and then I went to the rat race. I joined the rat race. I had two options, medical or engineering. I landed up doing engineering in biotechnology. And then, so if you're going to speak in sequence, people are going to sleep. Nobody is going to enjoy, because there is a proper structure to a hero story. Now, people's attention span is very short. Within that short period, you have to use elements, and you have to choose only those parts of the story where you got success. Number two, where you faced a challenge. Number one, the previous you, the older version of you, right? So my RCR, relate, challenge and resolve, is a very powerful technique used by brilliant speakers and amazing personalities like Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Les Brown. They use this RCR technique, which I will be going to train you. In the Power Leap 2, we do the boardroom storytelling. Here, we take up a lot of case studies, and if you have been following me in the social media channels, I keep giving content on boardroom storytelling, wherein I teach you how to give a message, how to put across a message using a story. So according to the case studies, we learn different techniques how to speak a normal message and making it impactful using a small story. So, and the last and the Power Leap 3 is the assessment, wherein I give you a feedback. You get to frame a 18 minutes final speech, where it's not only reviewed by me but also by other speakers. So you get to understand your level, where you are as a speaker. You get a complete blueprint wherein you put in the strategies and the frameworks and the action steps, and I make sure that you take action, you are 100% committed, and yes, it's a practice and perform model. That's all about my system, Speak to Lead. So what are you waiting for? Just book a call and I will see you inside.